Okay, so we can start. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. Just make sure you see my screen. Okay, so I love Einstein. You see my screen, right? Perfect. Okay, so before we start, the first question for everybody. Do you know what is light? Anyone can be answered. If I'm asking you, what is light?
It's what makes color have their colors.
Could be. Okay.
Energy.
Right.
Combination different colors.
Yeah, it's hard question, right? When I had my interview with Ubisoft, they asked me this question, what is light? I chucked, what? Okay, so this is a really hard question, to be honest, okay? But the answer is, it's very simple. Let's see the answer here. Light is a type of waves, okay? That causes object to be visible to the human eyes. And that light bounces of object into our eyes, that we can see the things. That's the answer. But what does it mean? In light in real life, it's about rays and waves. Okay, depending of this waves and rays, it comes with 7 rays. This 7 rays, it's called, as we know, it's rainbow rays or rainbow color. If you know the prism is it's about pyramid's cube. If you got it and just put any light, put the direction light, you can start to see this these colors and these waves. Okay. In the real life, when any light hit any surface, there is many things in the physics started to happen, like reflection or absorbing or transmission. Okay. So what does it mean? To see any color in the real life, you have to find what is the bounced color it's gonna bounce to your eyes. For example, if the light hit white surface, that's mean all the rays is gonna bounce it again and you can see the white color. That's mean there is no color in the real life. It's all about the rays that your eyes can be see. That's why your eye is different from the animals or any other animals. Some animals has a different color that can see only one color. Some animals can see 2 colors. Even the people, some of people, they can really see the pure color. It's like RGB color. Okay. So the first thing we're gonna talk about the bounced light. For example, the sunlight, when it hit any surface, it start to bounce it. Okay, so if the surface it's red, the only rays gonna bounce it, it's the red. That's why our eye can see the red color. That means there is no red ball, there is no black ball. It's all about the rays that bounce it. Because if we close our eyes, we can't see anything. Okay, and this is the power of lighting. The power of lighting that can make everything in real life has emotional, has a story, has a feeling. And that's why we're using the light in our art. Okay, so some of you, they're gonna ask, okay, this is important for me to understand the light or to become a lighting artist. I would say yes, because if you start to understand the physics of light, you will know what you have to do in your art. And this is very relation and it's very important. And I will show you this after. Okay, so before you start, you have to ask yourself, what kind of surface I'm gonna use in my scene and what happened in this area. So this light is gonna be reflection or absorbing, like the black. If we have a black, there is no rays gonna be bounced again because it's absorb all the rays. That's why we can see the black color. Black color, that's mean all the rays it's absorbed. Okay. White, all the rays is gonna be bounced. Red or any other color, it's gonna bounce only one rays, like red, yellow, orange, green, or so on. Okay. Here, the best example. You see, when we have a leaves, green leaves, all the rays, it's hit the surface, and our eye just can't see green because the only rays it's gonna bounce it, it's green, and the other rays, it's gonna absorb it. Okay. So this is very simple how the light works in the real life. Okay. Light in arts. Everything in lighting, it's related to the art. What does it mean? I will give you very basic example. When we are during the summer, everybody feel more power, energy, happy. You feel warm because everything around you, it's about green and sunny. It's hot. That's why you always feel energy. And some of them, some of you feel happy. For me, I'm a summer guy, so I really love the summer. So I'm always happy during the summer. During spring, you start to see the green trees, and everything comes very bright, saturated. So we start to see something very, very, very bright, and that's make your emotional happiness, and also you will feel more comfortable with this weather. During winter, as me and Nimi live in Canada, so we always feel depressed because the weather is really bad. All the whites, it's extremely cold. There is nothing to do, low energy. So we always feel depressed during the winter time. Why we feel this? It's all about the light. It's not about the season, but it's all about the light, because the lights always change the things around us. Okay. And this thing we always use in our art to tell the story. So basically, why we use the light? We use the light to tell the story. If I am working on any scene, I have to ask myself first, the purpose of this scene, what I want to say, what is the story I want to tell here. So is this scene, it's gonna have something dramatic, it's fair, it's danger, mystery, it's an action. So you have to ask yourself, what is the story behind this scene? It doesn't matter if your scene is animated or not. Still, image can tell the story. And that's why we saw some painting from Van Gogh and other artists, they sell it about million and billions of dollars, because they use this color theory and light theory in their art to just telling the story. If you ask yourself why this painting is selling for $1 billion, this is the answer. Because they always telling the story behind this color and the lighting. So to just get the clear vision, you can look at this image. You see here, this image, it's called fresh. So the sky is clear, blue. We have a nice saturated, it's not too saturated, but nice saturated. And there is nothing you can feel it's bad or something weird in this place. No, it's very calm. Some of you, they said, oh, wow, I want to go this place, because you love this place because you have a relation with these colors. Okay. And this is called emotional. Okay. The second one, it's calm. You see here, the difference between this and this, here we have some shadow and some dark area, but here everything is clear. It's calm. Okay. If we look at this, it's different color, different light, different mood, and the saturated always is different. Danger, we have a red, always the red color, it's attention for the something in danger. If you are in submarine or any place have red, and the alarm is red, so the color, it's related to the thing that's gonna happen. Okay. So as I said before, the green, it's always happiness, because during the spring we always feel happiness. If you have over sky, you start to feel some depressed or some mystery emotion. So all of this thing, it's related to the light and the color, because the light and the color, it's always very connection and related to the art. Okay, so you always have to look at the reference and ask yourself, what is the purpose of my art? And depend on your story, you start to select your color and you start to select your light. Okay, so that's mean nothing's come randomly in art. No, everything is related to the story. Okay, we have something that's called color harmony, and that's what we're gonna talk about. The color harmony, it's about how to select the color to make the story. Okay, and depend on the color harmony, you can tell the people that if anybody has no idea about the light or the color, that they're gonna feel it. So as I said, when if you are normal people has no idea about the art, but when you saw this image, oh my god, that place, it's very dangerous. It's like volcano and something is very, it's very dangerous, come on. So everybody, if even if the kids, they can feel this. Okay, because as I told you, because from the real life, we have a relation between the color and the light. Okay, so here for the color, we have three things. It's hue and saturation and the value. Depending on select of any type of them, you can telling the story. For example, I want to show you something very interesting here. This is one of my favorite movie. If you look at this scene, they are in wedding time, so everything is very saturated, have pink and colorful happiness. The sunlight looks soft. They looks very happy. You know, if we even remove all of this character, you will still have the same feeling because the colors. Okay. You start to go there, everything is still color is saturated and the colorful. Even here, you see, it's colorful. It's the same house, and I'm gonna show you the same house in the next sequence. Here, it's still saturated. The sky is blue. Everything around them, it's greenish. Oh, you see, it's greenish, colorful. But what happened here? The color mode, it's completely changed. Is that correct? Now we have low value, low saturated, and even the color. There is no color. All the color looks gray because this is sadly seen. You know, his wife is sick and she might be die. So you start to feel, oh my God, that's feel sorry. Just imagine if this scene have brightness and saturated color. It's gonna break the story. Okay, so that's why Pixar is the best company. I'm always say it's best company ever. They always say use the light and the color to telling the story. Let's go to the scene. Yes, I want just take a moment in this scene. Do you remember? You see this scene? We're gonna take the screenshot of this one. And let's bring it here. Wait. Yes. Oh. All right. So same scene, same everything, same trees, same everything, but different season and different colors, different type of day. Here is he telling the story. Here it looks happiness, even if he gets older, but still happiness. He still enjoy the life. But here it's come to the end. They are very old now, and he knows his wife is she gonna die. So the color and saturated, it's completely different. As I mentioned before, During spring or the summer, you feel happiness. During fall time or the winter time, you start to feel depressed. You see, different color, it's completely change the story. And that's what we're gonna learn here, to just know how to use the color and the light in our scene to telling the story. And if you do this, everything in your scene, even if your scene, it's very, very basic, you will have a very nice vision, and everybody gonna be feel this, and you will telling the story about behind your scene. Okay, let's go back here. So I just want to show you this because, as I told you, everything's related to in the real life, related to the art. Okay, so I don't know if you know Unreal Engine or not, but we're gonna take some time to give you some basics about Unreal Engine. But the reason to use Unreal Engine, because it's real-time engines, so we can do practice our lighting. And I already sent the link for this project. We're gonna have a practice. The reason for the practice, I just want to see everybody for his own experience and what is his level, what he gonna do in this this scene. So I download this scene, and as you can see here, it'll. Do you know what is the story that he can say about the lighting, behind the lighting? What is the story behind this scene now? If we can select one of them, what you be referred to call this scene?
Creepy?
Dangerous.
Dangerous or creepy?
Fear. War.
Yep. You see, everyone has own emotion. For me, I feel it's lonely. For example, it's lonely. Okay. I don't feel there is something is fear here, because okay, nothing to worry about. So that's what I got. But you have different emotions. That's why everybody has his own emotion. Many people, they love winter than the summertime. Is that correct? So as I tell you, before you start your art, you have to ask yourself, what is the reason behind this scene? What I'm always doing in my art, I'm always trying to put my soul inside this place. I'm always try to close my eyes and really put my soul there and sort of say, what I want to see here, what I'm looking for, because you create your own world. Okay. For example, this the light, this the regular light, but I create my own light. So if I turn this off and turn this on, this is the same times that I want to looking for, and this is what I am really feel. Okay, it's during the evening time, and I just add one light here for to telling the story. What is the story behind this? This place is not empty. There is
Yeah.
nothing I can go there.
There is life. Yeah.
Yes, there is still life. Even there is everything is broken now, but there is still life. There is still hopes. Okay. Only one spotlight can telling the story. If the light's so far, that means there is something I have to do there. And this is exactly what we are doing in the game art. Gaming, it's different from the movie. In gaming, I'm always have to use the light to navigate the player. So I want this player go from A to P, to just go to P and then distract with other world. I have to put light to tell him this is the correct place, because the player is gonna be teenagers or even younger people or any age. They have no idea about the light, but they have a relation. So if you go around in your place and see the light, it's so far away, and there is nothing around you. So said, okay, I'm gonna go there. They might something I can find someone or do something there. Okay. Hello everyone. Mic and cam. Okay, Ramzi, no problem. No problem. No problem at all. Yeah. Okay. So you have this scene, and I want each one of you to start to create their own light, and I will show you how you can hide the lighting and start your own scene. And just in the end, just send a screenshot. Take your time. Just bring some concept. But for me, I would prefer to take a breath and put your soul in this place and start to feel what the time I want to be there. Okay, and what is the reason for this scene? Okay. If you look at this scene, you can see, okay, so do you know how, if I had this light, sorry, can you imagine how many source light in this scene?
Two lights. One is your natural light coming from sky,
Okay,
and the other one is the yellow. I mean the artificial light. I mean the indirect light, which you have used it for the lamp.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, that's main light.
Yeah.
But in lighting art, we use punch of light to just telling the story. Okay, like in painting, when you drawing or do any painting, you start to use highlights on the edges to make the separate layers. Okay, if I show you my lighting here, you see I have about 15 source of light. And let's turn off most of the light to show you step by step. Okay, so the first thing I start to think about when I add any light in my scene, the skylight, because this is the biggest light in the world. So the atmospheric, it's called atmospheric. So in Unreal Engine or any other software, I'm always start to add the sky dome to get the ambience, the global ambience. So the global ambience mean, okay, this place, it's at night or the evening or in the midday, or what the time exactly I want to be there. Okay, so I start first with HDR light. I will show you how to get enabled in the scene, and I just put the color as blue or dark blue. That the main color here, it's come from the HDRI, but you can select different type of HDRI. Okay, so after I do this, I start to add the key light. The key light, that's mean the light that gonna bring the attention. Okay, because our eyes, they always go to the something to have attention. So if I add this light, that's mean, okay, there is something here, I want to go there. It's take the attention. Regarding this attention, I have to make the light more brightness than any other place. The saturated also has to be visible to just highlight. This is called the highlight of the place. Okay. After that, I start to add something is called fake light around the place. You see here, any environment, sometimes it looks flat. But if you start to add some highlight around these items, it's gonna get pretty more. Okay, so let's say this. You see here, the light, it's come from the sky, but I need to have more light or light attention. So I add spotlight here to just highlight the top. Okay, also I add the second spotlight because I need the people the written help. There's something called help. So that's why I add more light here to bring the attention. And I move the light here to just have some reflection on the window, because most of the people, they're gonna look at this, but in the same time, I want their eyes look up. Okay, so there is help. So okay, that means there is something, someone need help here. So I might go to this way and go upstairs, and I can find someone there. And this is called the art and the navigation. Okay, same principle, we use it in the movie or the game art. Okay, after that, I start to add, you see here, you can see this light, right? More bounced light around the place. Here's dark, but here it's more bounced, but has low value. After that, let's, oh, you see here, this item, these props, I need to bring more attention and add highlight. You see, now it looks flat. You can't really see anything between this background and these props. So I add one more light. And if we turn on all of this light you see here, there was no light, but you have to think, okay, this light should be bounced or scattering more light. So I can add more light here. Okay, if we go back here, you see this, the thing, this bucket, I add a couple of light there, because as I tell you, if we turn off this light, it looks flat. I can't see anything. But when we add some fake light in place, you start to make your scene more pretty. And here's the secret. We didn't use only one source light, because most of artists, they just put direction light and they said, okay, that's enough for me. But to become a lighting artist, you have to think about the art and how is the artist, they use the highlight and the colors in their painting before. Okay, so you can use any type of lights. For example, I can add direction light. Okay. And let's bring this here. Okay. If we bring more ambience. Okay. So direction lights in the lighting art, sometimes I would prefer to use it as an extra light, not the main key light, because the direction light, it's scattered light everywhere and it's hard to control. But with the fake light, you can control of your scene. And that's why we never seen any sunlight. Many of movies, you always use fake light, even if they are using in the interior scenes. If we look at the studio light setup, setup for movies, light setup for movie. It's better to see this. Okay. In any movies, they always use fake light to fake the light in the real life. For example, if I want to fake the sunlight, they didn't use sunlight. They didn't go outside and take this sequence from the sun. No, but they use big light source to fake the light and the atmospheric. As you can see here, they use different type of light to just fake this light. The lights out there is not coming from the sky. It's come from the light source. It's the same thing we are using in the games and movie. We always use some fake light to fake the light. So the first rule, don't think about the main light in the real life. So if you want to get sunlight mode, don't use direction light. No, you can use some spotlight to fake this light. And this is the big challenge, okay? Everybody can drag and drop any direction light and boom, you get this the mood. But the hard part, how to use the fake light to match the real light, okay? And this is very, very, very hard. It's not that easy, okay? But we'll learn all of this together. Is that clear for everyone? Cool. All right. So let's go back here. If you remember, as I mentioned before, light and the color is relation to the story. The first thing before you start to add in light, you have to select the color, because the color, it's very important for you. What kind of color I'm gonna use it? So to understand this correctly, we have to look at this one. Okay. It's very important to know what does the temperature mean. In any 3D software or in the real life, the light has temperature. And depending of this value, the temperature could be changed. For example, if you are looking for to add candlelight, the candlelight has specific temperature or specific value. If you are looking for to make a skylight, there is another specific value. So that's mean you can't use your color as a randomly. Sometimes it's okay to use it, but I would prefer always to use the temperature. The most of the softwares you have temperature. If we drag this here, okay, and let's go there, and you see this use temperature 6,500. If we look at this one, this is not the correct one, so we can get one more light temperature. Yes, that's perfect. Okay. So as you can see here, the low value it's mean warm, and the high value it's more blue. Okay, between those value you can add or telling the story. So the blue it's mean more calm, more cold, and the lower value it's more warm, so that's more danger, more power. So we always use this method to telling the story. If you have for example, it's bad guy, you can't add warm. You can add blue color on his face or around him, because you need to make him more danger, more has powerful. So you try to always looking for the color that can reflect his emotional. Okay, so just imagine you have big guy and this bad guy and add blue color. You're gonna start to feel okay, there is something's wrong here. But if you add red spot or yellow spot, start to feel yes, he's danger or something is mystery here. Okay, so to use this, you have temperature here, and with this temperature you can start to change your value. And I'm always prefer to not use any post-processing in your scene before you set up your light. Okay, so if we turn this off, you see the light here, it's completely changed the story. So if I turn off this and just move this, or we can add it in the other place here. You see the difference between the light behind me and this light? It's 100% different story. So this place, it's mean something is danger here, something is wrong here. I might go there, I might not. Okay, and we always use this method in our art to just, as I told you, telling the story. So get a point, put the light there, and tell the artist or tell anybody what is the story behind this light. Okay, so you will find for sure this chart I'm gonna upload it after we finish. So it's very important to you to keep all of this reference, because as I tell you, you have to understand the color, the temperature, the light, and after that we're gonna start to know what kind of light or what kind of light source we're gonna use in our scene. Okay, so this is the basic of light and the color. We're gonna go deeper after that, but firstly, anybody has any question? Sure, go.
So just to touch on the temperature and color, because like how do you circle that? Because on one side you can choose a Kelvin value or a temperature value, but then you can still change that color like you did with the light.
Yes.
So why would I ever use temperature if I just control the light, the color of the light?
Temperature, it's more accurate.
Right.
So, there is it's a lot different between the candle light and the flame light. Okay, so sometimes you have both of this light source in your scene, and you want to have a change between the candle and the flame light. That's why sometimes I prefer to use the temperature. But if you are good with color and you know what kind of color you're gonna use it, for sure you can use it. Is not mandatory for me. But for the basics, if you don't know how to use the color, it's a good way to look at this chart and start to use your color. Even in my blueprint, I'm always use the blue color underwater from the chart. And I'm gonna show you something. It's very interesting here. We can open it now. Light absorb, underwater light scattering. Yes. Let's see this. For example, underwater, the water is always absorb the rays when we go deeper and deeper and deeper. Okay. In Unreal Engine, in software, to get the similar color mode, you can start to open your color and start to observe the color. You see this value? To start to observe this value to get the correct color from the real life. So that's why I said it's okay. Sometimes you can use temperature, sometimes you can use your own color, but it depends on your experience. Okay. But as I told you, there is no rules that you have to follow. But at least if you don't know how to use the temperature or the color, you can use the temperature for sure.
And you can
Okay.
mix and match as well. Like in the scene,
Exactly.
you can use.
Yeah, sure. You can use it. You can mix it as you want, or even you don't use it. That's fine. If you don't use the temperature, that's fine. As I tell you, if you are good with the color, you can use it. You can pick your color and put in your place. But sometimes, for example, in our games, we always use temperature to make the color and the light accurate. So in the candles, I have to add 2,500, for example, or 2,000 for the candles. I can use the color from myself because it's gonna reflect on everything. Okay, this is in game side, but in movie, for example, you can for sure you can use the color. You can use your own color, but in your personal project, it depends. I remember in the beginning, I used the color and then I tried to tell this to the artist and I got more attention. Okay, this guy, he has more experience because he know the temperature and he use it. Even if you don't use it, you can just show this to the artist to bring more attention, okay? It's gonna put more trust for you and it's gonna say, okay, this guy, he really understand the color theory and the light theory, okay?
Got it.
So yeah, that's it.
Sorry?
Yeah,
I have a question.
yeah, sure.
Possible?
Go.
Can you go to the pure ref, please? One
Yes.
second. To the wheels of color.
Which one?
Complementary.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Here.
yeah.
Okay.
For your scene, which one did you use and why? Is it like, do we use it? Yeah, do we use it for the whole composition, or just for the lighting scenes or something like that? Because I didn't see the difference between the two. So yeah.
Okay. So the color harmony, it's about both of them, the light and the composition. The light, it's always related to the light itself, the story, and the color harmony, it's telling what is the rest of the story. So that's mean I have this scene and I add pure light, okay? But I need to change the story by change the post-processing effect. Like if we go to the post-processing here, okay, and go to the temperature, the default value here, you see, it's 6,500. The light, it should be blue, but you feel it's more white, okay? But if we start to change this, we get more blue color, and this something is related to the color harmony. But the color harmony, I don't know what I can say, but you have to tell the story between the color harmony and the light. It's all relation together. It's all connected together. Okay, but in the next we're gonna watch how to use this. But for example, in my scene, I didn't look the color harmony because I use my own experience. I used the blue color and the yellow color because this color, something is warm and something is cold. So when you match it together, you can get very nice color harmony. What is the idea here? It's okay. You can tell anything about this place. For me, I say this place, I go at night and I want to go. There is still life in this place. If I move this light to direction light, I can get the same story because when you turn this off, let's turn this off. Okay. And just bring this back. So in your point of view, do you think there is still life in this place after I add this direction light?
Probably not, but not sure because yeah, each of us can see it in
But
his
what is
different
your
ways.
first attention in this place?
It feels
What's your
dead.
first attention? There is a life or not?
No, it feels dead. Yeah.
That's it. You know, that's it. This is the power of light. Just one source light can make change. But as I told you, you have to think why I use this light in this place. If I use the same light and I have direction lights for the sunlight, I will not get the attention, okay? Because it's daytime and it's not make sense to add the light source. But there is one more thing. Who can turn on this light? Who has control? Who has the control of the direction light? It's a god, right?
Yeah.
It's a god.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But who has control for this light? Oh, for the lantern light.
It's the person who put it there.
It's person. It's a human.
Yeah.
You get the point?
I see what
Did
you
you
mean.
catch
Yeah,
the
yeah.
point?
Yes.
So that's why I always say you have to think why I put this light. I saw many artists they add a light and this is not related to this place. So if you have huge place and you add a lantern on the top, so you have to think how this person can reach the top to put this light. Sometimes it doesn't make sense, except if you have giants, guys, okay, or giant person in this place. So always think about this. Who can turn on this light or who can turn off this light? Even in our games, we always use this method. So when I add this light, okay, is that person can reach this place to turn on this light? It doesn't matter what kind of light. It could be lanterns that came from the fire or flame. It could be electric lantern like that we have now. But always ask yourself, who can turn on this light or who can turn off this light? Okay, so this is something that's very important for you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Anybody has any question? Sure, go ahead.
Let's say that I want to make a sunset with this scene. How would I do it? Because my method is with directional because it's automatic. Should I change the HDRI? Should I use a plain color?
Yes. Okay, so we can start from scratch if you want. So there is two things here in Unreal Engine. I don't want to show you the easiest way. So we have exists light setups that you can just move the light direction and get your own mood. But the thing we're gonna talk about this after and during the atmospheric. We're gonna have a big session for the atmospheric and how the atmospheric in the real world works, like in the fog and the sky and perspective also. So, but now we're gonna talk about how to use the light source to make your scene pretty. Okay, so if I want to reach the sunset, it's the same method. I'm gonna drag and drop HDRI. Okay, let's for example this 1500, and if I couldn't find any HDRI here, I can find one of them from HDRI Heaven. HDRI Heaven. Okay, this is a website. I'm gonna add the link. You can pick any one of them, or even you can keep this, but go to the sky, and I'm gonna say, okay, the sunset, what is the color for the sky? It's blue or orange or it's pink, but for me, I will go to more with, oh, what's wrong? What's wrong here? Something is wrong here. Wow. Okay, so something is wrong here.
With the
Okay.
levels,
Maybe because the level. Okay.
like
And
persistent.
yeah, okay. So it's good to start from scratch here. Okay, so when you get this this level, okay, so let's open this level from beginning. Probably you will find this light. Okay, what would you prefer to do? So just right click and create level, okay, and call this main, okay, main lights, okay, and from window you will find something is called level. Okay, just turn it on and you can drag it and drop anywhere. And from here, I'm gonna drag the main lights and add it here. Okay, right click and make current. This is the main this is the main level. I'm gonna drag and drop all of this light. Okay, yes, this, oh no, this is the main. Okay, I'm gonna cut all of this light, just Control X and double click here, make current and paste it here. Okay, and now you can save it. Once you turn this off, all the light gonna be disappear. Okay, so to create your own light, now I'm gonna create new level and say this sunset light, and just drag it and drop here and double click, turn off the other levels and turn this on. And from here, I can start to add my light. I don't know why it's, oh, okay. Anyway, okay, I will keep this right now. Okay. Now, if I drag and drop this light and say, okay, this sunset, so that's mean the light should be more lower. Okay. And change the value and add more indirect lights. But because of this light, it's really bad. I don't know what's wrong. Okay, you could add this, but for me, this light, it's too sharp and it doesn't make sense for me to have a sunset mode. Okay, so that's why I'm gonna say, okay, the sunset, that's mean the light should be has a lower direction. Okay, and that's we're gonna learn it. So the first thing I started to add spotlight. And I'm gonna call this the main key light because this is gonna bring the attention. So as I said, when the light, the direction light, it's moved to the sunset on sunrise, the direction should be in the lower direction, okay? During the sun, the daytime, the light, it's always on top, but after that, it's gonna be moved until to reach the bottom, okay? So that's mean if we go back to direction light and bring this here, now this is the midday, okay? But after I start to move, boom, I start to reach the sunset time. So, okay, now I catch the point. I'm gonna remove this light and I will add my own light. So let's add this. Add more value. We could move to 600. And I will move the direction. And from here, I will add this and start to see, okay, the sunset. If you don't know how to get the color, you can see sunset light color. Okay. And you start to pick any one of color you want to have it more pink or orange, what type of color you want to use it. So I would love to use this. Okay. So I'm gonna go, it's between red okay, and we can add this here. Let's change the radius. Okay. Something I want to show you here. Let's make this cone sharp. Okay. In your point of view, this shadow is correct or not? Do you know why?
It's too sharp.
Yes,
It should
but
be
why
softer.
is too sharp?
Because
Diffuse.
it's spotlight limits.
If you use what? No, I mean, think about the real life. Why
There's
you don't
something
feel
in front of it.
Because
Okay.
of the light size. Because of the light size, there it is very sharp. I mean,
Okay. So
mm,
the reason is when the light it's far away from you, or the source light it's very far away, the light get sharper. And when the light source is more big, it gets softer. Like in the sun, when the sun in the middle of day, you will see everything in your side, it's sharp. That's why I always say go around and start to take some picture around the day. So let's go back here. Sun, it's hard to find, okay, because I need to just find something to make. Okay, I think, you know what? Let me save this and we're gonna start from here. Yeah, this perfect. To just give you an idea why we use this color. Okay, the source of the light, when it gets bigger, the shadow gets smoother. And when the source light gets smaller, or it's gonna be far from you, it's gonna get more sharper. You can just practice, bring any light source and start to put in your object and start to go far or get closer. You will see what I mean. But there is a good example here. So we have this sunlight, okay? And let's add this object. I wish it works here. Okay. So we have this source light. During the sunset, the sun should be more bigger, okay, because it's come closer to the earth. So if we add this for 20. But why the shadow doesn't work? There is something's wrong here. So I might open another project because the distance field is not working here. But I'm sure in the other project should be works. So we might add this. Okay, so you see the sunlight now. When the sunlight source it's come bigger, everything gets smoother. That's why it's hard to see any hard shadow during the sunset or the sunrise. Try today or tomorrow, just go around the middle of day or the sunset or the sunrise time. You will find this. You will find the shadow. It's very, very soft. But the midday, the light, it's always sharp. That's happened because the scale of the light source. Okay, so that's why I show you this. Why the light it looks bad? Why the light? What the shadow it looks bad? Because it doesn't make sense when you have the sunset or the sunrise time to have the hard shadow. So that means this is something related to the real life. So it doesn't make sense to make hard shadow during this time. But during midday, for sure, you have to get the hard shadow. And the shadow always has big relation to the storytelling. Okay. So let's see this. I wish this one, it works. It looks like something's wrong here. Oh, yeah, it works from the far here. Sorry. Okay, so you see here, the light source, it's one, small, but once we add these two, you see we start to feel there is smooth shadow in the object. And if you make this bigger, the sun is too big, the shadows start to get more smoother. Okay, the same method we use it in our light. So just put your attention in the midday, the light's sharp, and after that time, the shadow start to be more smoother till disappear. Because what happened during the midday, the light power has more power and has more value. But after the sun loses the power, it starts to lose the shadow. Okay, so just try to make your practice at home, or even as I told you, it's best practice for me to go to the natural life and start to take some picture and put some object around and see how the shadow works. Okay, is that clear? Good. So let's close this and go back here. Okay, so yes, as I say, you can add soft shadow, and from here you will start to add the fake light around you to make the bounced. So if you remember, we talk about the bounced light. In the light in real life has bounced, and depend on this light, it should be bounce the area around you. So that's mean you can't just put this light and say that's enough. No, this light when hit this wall, it should be bounced back to the other assets. So that's mean I have to add the light, for example, here. But in this case, the bounced light should has lower value. So this 600, I'm gonna go for 200, for example. So now it makes sense for me to have this bounced. Okay, if you turn this off, okay, you lost some point, but here, no, you add the correct thing, so the bounced. So what I'm thinking when I add the fake light, always think about the bounced light. Okay, where is the light gonna be bounced and how far this light gonna go far? Okay, so we can add some lower value here. You see, it's start to change the story. Okay, and from here, I don't know why the HDRI it looks too dark. It's crazy. Okay, you see, I start to add some bounced, and from here I'm gonna add more fake light. But be attention, this sky is too bright, so I have to change this sky to add the atmospheric. So, but don't care about this, just get some vision. And from here you start to say, okay, this we have a sunset time or the sunrise time. So what is the idea from here? Mostly the sunset and sunrise, it's meaning two things. There is hope or losing hope or romantic time. So at the same time, but has three different emotional. If you are romantic, you bring your girlfriend and go to the watch the sunset or the sunrise. Okay, and sometimes in some art, when you just see the edge of the light before the night comes, that's mean okay. I I start to feel I start to lose the hopes because the night is gonna come, the danger things is gonna come. So, but sometimes also when you look at this the top of this light, you still you might think, okay, I still have the time to survive, for example. It doesn't come yet, the night doesn't come yet. So that's why I always say the light is very important to telling the story. But only one source of light, it's related to the situation between you. So if you need to say there is still hope, so you can put your skylight, it's more bluish, for example. You can keep it as a natural color. But if you want to say it's losing hope, you can add more cloudy or more dark colors like what I showed you here in the video for the Pixar. You can add some gray and dark lights, or you can add vignette points. We can look at this. Where? Oh, yeah, I think this one is good. Please. Okay, so if you look at vignette intensity here, sometimes we use it to just make the edges around the sequence it's more darker. That's sometimes it's mean okay, I lose everything here and I just put attention in this direction on the direction of the camera. So as I told you, you have to think about what is the story behind this art. Okay, let's take 5 minutes break. Just take some water break and just get fresh, and after that we're gonna start to look at the different type of light, and we'll talk about all the light of type and how we can use it in our scene. Okay, so now it's 11:10, so let's go back after 10 minutes. 10 minutes, it's enough for everyone. Okay, so 11:20, we'll back. Cool. uh i I don't know if I can pause from Zoom. Can I pause the session, right? I never tried before. Yes, we can pause sharing. Oh no, just pause sharing. Um, okay. Anyway, let's take 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and we'll go back. Okay. Nice. Yeah, by the way, I'm back. So if anyone has any question, you can ask until everybody back. So don't hesitate to ask your question.
بقول لك يا كريم، انا يوسف اللي بتكلم.
Yes, yes.
اتكلم ايه؟ انا الانجليش
Uh,
برضو يعني.
uh, it's hard to speak Arabic because everybody want to understand what you are saying. So if you have any question in Arabic, you can ask me after. It's good with you.
اوكي
Okay.
اوكي.
I don't know if it's comfortable with this everyone because but the session will be recorded, so it's better to keep in English to just make everyone feel comfortable with this. Okay. So yeah, but don't worry, we'll answer all of your questions. So right. And by the way, this file you will find it on the course. So as I tell you, just you will find the I think it's gonna be there. Yeah, and this one. After I added, you will find the link for download all the files. I will make zip folder and you can download it. So there is here some link. It's very important if you want to look at this. So I just put, yeah, this one you already got it. Yes. And this one, it's very, very important too. This talk about the light and science. It's something you just have to watch. You don't worry about this because this is more at science, but just take a moment to look at this to understand how the light works in the real life. Okay, I think everyone back, right? Okay, we can keep continue. Yes. Okay, so as I told you guys, the idea of this workshop to just make your arts more nicer and with the ultimate knowledge you get it. Because there is many things related to the light. It's related to your own experience. It's related to your emotion and your feeling. What I trying to do, I just want you to, as I told you, put your soul in this, oh sorry, okay, inside this place and start to think about what kind of light I want to add here and what is the idea from this, what is the story I want to telling. It doesn't matter if your light is perfect. It's hard to get the perfect light from beginning because there is many things we're gonna learn it. We have enough time, we're gonna share our feedback, we're gonna share our knowledge together. I'm gonna learn some stuff from you and you're gonna learn some stuff from me. Don't hesitate to ask any question. If you need any help, I'm here to helping you. We all as a team, part of this workshop, it might be some of you doesn't work with a big company, so we're gonna take some session to just get you the workflow in the big company, what you have to do, how you can get your task, and what you should to do, what the attention you have to do. Also, if you want to looking for the interview, I'm gonna give you some tips to pass this interview related to the light for sure. So now let's talk about the light source and some big mistakes the artist doing in the light. Okay, we start with light direction. I think the sharing is still okay. That's perfect. As I saw before, many artists, he doesn't look at the light directions. He just put the sunlight and he doesn't care about the light direction. But the light direction, it's very, very important to highlight your items to make your scene more nicer. In your point of view, what you see right now, did you feel comfortable with this light? What's your feeling about this place now? Is it okay or it's bad? What do you think?
It's burning. It's
Bother
too
you?
bright.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Bother you.
mean-
Why it bother you?
It's burning because the light intensity is too much. I mean, it's
Okay.
a noon time, and it's not going well with this kind of a setup.
Okay.
Yeah,
So we'll keep the light with the same intensity. Okay.
yeah.
What about this? It's still
Yeah, now
bothering
it
you?
is. It's creating a contrast because there is a shadow right now, and
Exactly.
yeah, in some places have lights. So yeah, it's creating a mood in the
E-
scene. Yeah,
Exactly. You see, just the direction of light can 100% change your mood and your scene, and it change your emotional too. So the light direction, it's very, very, very important to telling the story. and to make your scene more pretty. I'm always said there is rules you have to follow. Never put the light front of the camera. Never. Even in the photographer, they always know these rules. When they get shooting or take any image, they never put the light source front of the camera or the object. I mean the object. They always put the light on the side, tilt up, tilt down, but never put front of the object. Because when you put any light front of the object is gonna get flat, and that's why in the TV shows when they meet with any woman or any actor, they put light front of the face to make their face looks flat. That's mean gonna be more pretty. But in environment, you can't do this because you need to see the distance between the object. You need to see the shadow. You need to see the details. The light when when you put the directional light front of the object, you will lose all of these details. Even in the cinematic, when we work in the cinematic mode, the skin has very low details from the normal map. So to show these details in the light, in the games, you always have to keep the light in side direction. You can't put the light front of the character. And after the release game of Assassin's Creed, I will show you some of my art related to this phase, because this is something that's very important. When you create your own light, try to always keep the details as much as you can. Because, for example, you work in the team and you have character artists. These character artists, they spend a lot of time to just get these small details on the character. But you will make his work bad because you don't put your light in the correct place. So the light direction, it's important to bring the attention and to make the items more visible. If you are looking here, you see there is a shadow behind each element, and you can really see the distance between each element. But this is not enough. Sometimes we use fog layers to just make separate between each object, or we can add some highlight for the light to make the separate between the objects and the other object. For example, here, I will keep the light. Okay, and this intensity. Let's turn off this because this bothers me. And you see this area, it's completely dark. And in real life, it's missing something. It's missing some highlights. So what I would prefer to do, you can use spotlight. And I'm gonna change this radius. And we could turn this on and just get this. And soft the shadow, I'm gonna have some soft shadow. You see, it's just one source light can make your scene looks different, because as I told you, the first thing you have to think about the bounced light. This light is too strong and it's too sharp, so it should be bounced in other area. So we keep the vantage point in the front of the camera. It's dark, it's still dark, but it's not black. We have to add some highlight to say, okay, this is the edge between the shadow and the light and the dark area. Okay, even here you see it's dark, but it's not 100% dark. If you very dark, you can add post-processing. We will talk about the post-processing, and we can turn on the gamma. You see, we start to feel it's still dark, but we have some bounced light. It's come from the gamma. Okay, and the gamma, the camera, it's gonna be big session we're gonna talk about. You see, this one, it's bother me It's really bothering me because it's too dark, as not related to the real life. But here I start to feed some bounced light. I didn't add any lights. There is no light source. I just changed the gamma to get some bounced light in the dark area. This thing, it's called the fill light. Okay, the fill
Could you
light.
change it
It's
back again, please?
sorry.
Is it possible to see again the
Yeah.
difference before and after?
Yeah.
Sorry, the interruption.
Oh yeah, sorry. You see? You can see the difference? Let's try to bring it more up. Yeah. I think
I
this
could.
one.
I missed the moment in which you changed it, so I wanted
Yeah.
to see how
Okay.
much of an improvement it could give.
You see? Which one is better for you? This one or this one?
Second one.
This one or this one?
This one.
This one.
Yes.
It's more natural. It's more natural because,
Yes.
as I told you, if we have very bright light, it doesn't make sense to have too dark lights. Okay, so always try to have some light in the other side, and this something is called fill light. What is the fill light? The fill light, it's the other side from the key light. So if I have the key light from right side, you have to add fill light from the other side, and this light should be reduced the light 50% from the key light. So if this light has 1000 power, the fill light should have 500 power. Okay, if we go here and search about 3 point of light, 3 point of light, and this is the main key topic. Okay, in any art environment or character or anything, there is 3 type of lights you have to add in your scene: key light, fill light, and rim light. What is the key light? The key light, it's a main light in your scene. It might be come from the sun. This is the key light. It might come from the lantern. This is the key light also. Okay, it might come from anything else. So the key light, it's the light that take attention and take the place. It's about 70% of the attention in your scene. Okay, after you add the key light, you have to think about the bounced light. But in our lighting side, it's called fill light. Okay, if we go back here, you see this key light, and in the other side, it's a fill light. The fill light, as I told you, it should be the value it's lower than the key light. It's just for the bounced. You just add some bounced light to not make your other side it's completely dark. And in any movie, you see here, this key light, but here he adds rim light, not fill light. You can add for sure fill light, but we need to see the, yes, here. Let's take this to just zoom in. Okay. You see the difference between this this image and this image and this image. You see, this just has key light, and this start to has some fill light, but this with more fill light. So the idea for the fill light to try to light the dark side area. Okay, that's why we use the gamma to light this area, or you can add your lights. But I would prefer in post-processing to add gamma, or the exposure doesn't affect on this area, but the gamma, it works very well. The rim light, it's a backlight. So why you use the backlight or the rim light to highlight or to make the separate between each element? If we search here in the rim light in environment, This is the best example here. In the photograph, you see what's happened with this called rim light or the backlight. We use this light to just make the object separate from the background. And in the meantime, we're gonna have layers between each element. So in the environment or in or any other scene like cinematic scene or anything, we use this rim light to make the layers separate from each element. Okay, so as you can see here, this dark and this dark. So how you can feel there is a distance between the background and the object? The only way that you can have the distance that you can add the rim light. Is that clear? So this is the rules. Key light, it's a main light in your scene, fill light to light your darker area, and rim light to highlight or to make the layers separate from the background. And that's why in my scene here, oops. I add this type of light. So where this one? You see here, boom, boom.
So this
It
is
just
like a rim light to
Yeah,
give
this
the to give the buckets the highlights to separate
Exactly.
them from the rest of the. It's really to
exactly.
create depth in a
Yes,
sense.
yes, exactly. Depth. We use the rim light to create the depth and to make the layers separate from each element, because sometimes we have a lot of elements in the same place, but you need to add highlight between each element. It's the same thing it's happened in the painting. When you use the painting, they always add the highlight first on the edges to just make the separate layers. Okay, so in environment, yes, we use this. We have to use this always. You see, even here, I use the same thing. Even if you see here is the gray color and red color, but and still have separate. But when you add more rim light, you really can see some highlights or the depth between each element. The rim light, it could be fog. It doesn't matter to use it as a light. As we did here, we use gamma. It doesn't matter to add light to fake this light, to fake this mode. No, you could add gamma in the post-processing, or you can add fog. So the fog, sometimes it works to have separate between each layers. But as we're studying now the light, it's very important to add some light, highlight between each element. Okay, so now let's talk about the key light. Why we use the key light? The key light we use to bring the attention or for navigation or to say there is something that's happening here. If I'm in game art, I want a player when he starts in this level, just before to think or go anywhere to not distract him. I don't want him to go there. I don't want him to go there. I just want him to go this way. So I add the light. That's mean, hey, there is something here. You have to go this way. Okay. His mind is gonna say, okay, yes, this place, there is nothing to happen here, but I saw some light here. I don't know if anyone of you play not Tomb Raider, no, Uncharted, The Lost Legacy. I don't know if you played the Uncharted Lost Legacy, but the first level in Uncharted Lost Legacy, she was in India, and I think we can say Uncharted The Lost Legacy. Oh, no, chapter 1. This is one of the best game ever. I love this game too. Okay. I will show you something here because this this scene, it was in at night and there is no light source. Yes. Yeah. Maybe here. You see, there is no light source, but they add some key light to just let you see this light? It's bringing the attention. Why she doesn't go to the right side? Why she choose to go this way? Because there is big light bringing the attention. Go this way. Hey, there is something that's happening here. Boom. You see? She has to go there. There is no light source except this. So she has to bring the attention. You see, even here, there's a door. She gonna go there. She will find the way to go this way. You see the lights turn on, turn off, flickering. Okay, that's mean this door, I'm gonna go there. It's the same principle we are using light. You see how the light works in the game? You might doesn't know about this, but your brain, they're gonna calculate this. Okay, so this light there, I'm gonna go this way. I have to go this way. Why I didn't go to the other way? Because there is something bring attention there. Okay, that's clear. So this is how we use the light in our art. Okay, so ask yourself the key light. Why I add this key light? What is the proposal to add this key light? To bring the attention, to make the players or anything go this way, or to telling the story. What is the purpose of this light? Okay, in the cinematic, if we look at the cinematic light base, yes. If we open an image light, or we can look at this one. I think that one is good. You see here the light, the main key light, it's come from the
Lamp.
from the lamp. But in the meantime, he add the fake moonlight to just mix it between the blue and the orange to make the color harmonies. So this scene, when you look at this, it's something more warm, but in the meantime, because the character is too close from the key light, there is story happening here. He reading something, there is an action, it's gonna happen. Even if you feel it's warm, it's calm, but because we add warm light close to the character, so that's mean there is something that's happening. I don't know what is this movie and I don't know what is the action here, but this is what I got from just an image. Here you see the light saturation, it's different from the other light. This scene, it's more saturated, but this one has low value and low saturated. But the key light here, it's moon. What I got in my point of view now, this calm, this very calm. He might think about something. He will, I think he will never do any action. I don't feel he will never do any action. So that's what I got. It might be something else, but this is what I got. I might, when I watch this movie, it might something happen. If you look at this one, you see there is two parts, the dark side of him and the bright side. This is how the actors can be famous actor. You see this eye here, when he look at the camera, he doesn't look the camera, but he looked for something else. But here you start to feel, okay, the key light, it's bring the attention, and his face and his eye is talking about something. This man, it might be danger. This man, he doesn't fear from anything. And there is another side from his character. This is something we gonna learn it how to just make emotional from this light. Okay, so soft light sometimes bring more calm mood, and there is nothing it's happen. The rim light, it's bring there is a story or something happen in a minute, or any action is gonna be happen. He might be get mad, you know. There is many things related to each light. We just talk about 3 type of light: key light, fill light, and rim light. But as I told you, each light has a story, and each light can tell a story behind this light. Okay. You see here 2 parts. Why we use this light, we're gonna talk about this after in the cinematic, to just hide part of his character and show part of his character. So it's all about the lighting. If you remember the most of the movies, the old movie, when they want to show this guy it's bad or in danger, they always put the light from the bottom, right? Why? Because you need to show the skull has more shadow. When you add the light from the bottom, so if we go cinematic on face, I think I bottom light. Yes. What you get now, it's fear, they're mad, mystery. See? Just the light direction. Just the light direction can tell the story. And they use the most of this light in I also remember in black and white movies. You see, the light come because here you will see more skull details, and it's the same emotional. It's the same emotion. It doesn't matter to be looks mad or smiling. No, just this normal emotional. But the light direction, it changed. It changed the story, and that's why I was talking about the light direction. How the light direction can change the story. Soft shadow can bring more calm place, and hard shadow can move more attention or something more mystery or more danger. The light direction, as I said, you can tell the story with the light direction. So the question now, if I am lighting artist, do I have to follow all these rules? I know it might be something as headache, bring a headache to you, but believe me, after you learn all of these techniques, you will find yourself do it by itself. So it's gonna be like when you start to driving in the beginning, you scare, you afraid, you can't really control the wheel, but after a couple of weeks, okay, you can just leave your hand and drive. Is that correct? So that comes with practice. Keep practice, and you will forget all of these rules. These rules is gonna save in your brain, and you're gonna use it just when you start add your light. I swear, some days when I work on in some art of mine, I don't never think about the light concept or the color harmony. I never think about this. I just, as I told you, put my soul there and say, okay, like, where is this image? Yeah, for example, like this one. I didn't think about what kind of color I'm gonna use it, but when I submitted on ArtStation, I start to say, okay, I add some description. I add a blue light because this place is more warm, more calm, and I add warm light inside to bring more warm feeling, you know. So, but when I work in this art, I never think about this before. No, I just do what I am feeling, and that's why I tell you, when you put your soul in this place or environment, you will make everything very smoothly, very easily, without have any headache on yours. Okay, because as I told you, many people before they asked me, why you told me this, why you teach me this, why I have to waste my time? Because this is the basics. This is the basics, like driving. If you don't take the basics, you will never drive. You will never. It's the same thing. When you learn the basic, you can drive without hands. You can just let the car go, or you can even wash your face. So you can do whatever you want. Practice make you success. Okay, so just learn the basic, and what I put in my plan, the first 2 weeks will learn all the basics, and the rest will keep practice in different location. I will send you this location, for example, or I'm gonna send you different location. We're gonna work in the scenes underwater, in the scene in the forest, in desert. We'll work in different scenes, and in the end, each one of you, you're gonna select his own scene and will add the light, and in the end we will have some feedback to see what the mistake you did and what you need to improve, and by the end of the course, I'm sure you will be, I wish everybody can be become a lighting artist. I'm sure you will be. So yeah, that's why I always say, okay, what you have to do, just now open your eye more, open your vision. When you watch the movie, try to focus more on the light sequence and what happened in this sequence. Is it an action? It's dramatic? What kind of actions happen? Go around your place and start to take some picture from the environment that you're around. Try to look at the atmosphere around you. If it's in the evening time, how the light can be visible. This thing is gonna, as I told you, it's gonna save it in your brain, and in the end you will use it. You will never become a lighting artist if you don't open your eye and look around. You have to put your attention about each element in your life. Why the light has soft shadow? Why this light has hard shadow? Why the light this looks blue in this, even if the rest of the day it should be looks white? There is many things related to this light: the atmospheric, the humidity, the the environment. The environment also reflect on this light. Okay, so they think we're gonna learn it for sure, but yeah, as I said, this is the basic of the light. Today I want from you to try to practice as much as you can. Just if you don't practice, that's fine, because I know some of you have, we are in the weekend, so I will not ask you to do anything in weekends, just enjoy, but try to give you 1 hour to just do your practice, and remove all the lights and add your own light. It could be direction, it could be anything else. If you, I don't prefer to use the basic light in Unreal Engine, just try to use some fake light. Here, if you go here, we have lights. You have directional light, point light, spotlight, rectangle light, skylight. We have 10 minutes, okay? Don't worry, we can extend it, but there is 2 points I just want to talk about this type of light. Okay, do you know the difference between the point light, oops, and the spotlight? Anyone can be answer? What is the difference between these two lights?
One projects light from a source, like this, in a cone, and the other one, it's all around it in 360.
It's about the direction, isn't it? One only goes in one direction and the other one goes in all the directions.
Exactly. Exactly. The point light casts light in 360. Okay, and also it's cast shadow in 360. But the spotlight, it just casts the light from only one direction. So to use the light, you have to think about the light direction first. Even in the game art, we're gonna learn something very technical in the game art, why sometimes we use a point light and why sometimes we use the spotlight. But as he said now, we use the point light if I want to cast light in 360. But the spotlight if I just want to put the light in just only one direction. Okay. And the shadow too. So if I don't want the shadow to cast there, I just the shadow direction to go to the front, not the backwards. So in this in this I'm gonna use just spotlight. Okay. So you have rectangle light. Rectangle light, it's something to you see, it's like a box. This we're gonna use it in the cinematic portrait. How we could add the cinematic portrait or lighting setup as in portrait. But for sure you can use it if you want. You can use it. Don't use the skylight. I don't prefer to use the skylight in Unreal Engine, but use HDRI light. How you this normally you will not find this HDRI light, but it's very simple. Just go to the setting, plugin, and search for HDR light. Turn this on and restart your engine. After you start your engine, you will find the backdrop. Okay. The backdrop has limited, it's about sphere, and this sphere you can scale it. So make sure you scale it enough and just select it. And from here, the size, I'm gonna go to the 1000 to just make sure it's scale it enough. Okay. And from here, you can change your HDRI light. As I told you, you can open the website. It's called HDRI Heaven. I will put the link. Okay, you can select your lights. From here, try to make the intensity lower to just make the sky, if you don't want to make the sky bright. And if you want to change the intensity for the light itself, you can go here, skylight, and from here you can change the color and you can change the intensity of the color. Okay, so because we have many. I think something is wrong here. Oh.
You are on HDRI backdrop 2, sorry.
Oh, okay.
You selected number 2. You need to select number 1.
Ah, okay, because I'm here. All right. Yes. The level. Just make sure you select the correct level, okay? To see the light. But yeah, anyway, you get the point. Just remove the backlight and we can go back. So is that clear for everyone to know how to set up the light in Unreal Engine? Okay, and you can find the map when you open the Unreal Engine. You will find to get this map. Open this folder and go map, and you will find just this one. Okay, so just open it, and as I told you, right click, create level, and drag this level here to get this level. Open window, and you will find level. Oh, let's close this. So level, and usually it's gonna get it here, so you can drag it and drop anywhere. So I would like to add it here. Oh, Unreal Engine, I think it's gonna be crash. That's good.
Just a note, I'm not sure if it's correct or not, but it seems like the HDR, the original HDR is on the persistent. And if anybody else wants to add their own HDR, it's gonna be duplicates.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, that's why I said once you add, you open your scene, create two levels. First one for the main light, or you can remove the old light. So the main light here, okay, you can go to the lights. Oh, let's turn on. Yes. So this is the main level. So you will find the light. You can simply just select all the lights. Okay, and make sure also if we have any HDRI or any skylights, just make sure you remove it. Or as I told you, just create level and cut the light from the main level and put it here, and then turn it off and create new level and start to add your light. Okay, let's make it one more time to just make sure everybody know this. Okay, so okay, so what's here? Okay, so what's wrong? Okay, anyway, we have a light here. Okay, I'm gonna create light, sorry, not material. Right click, create level, and say main one, and drag it here. Okay, we'll hide everything and go to the present level and take all of these lights. Oh, because I move it already. Sorry. Oh my God. Okay, so here the light. Okay, I'm gonna cut all of these lights and go back to the level that I created and pasted, and then save it. Okay, then I'm gonna hide this and create a new level and say my own light, my light, and just drag it here, double click or right click, make current, and start to add your light there. Okay, is that clear for everyone? So Discord, we're gonna follow up. If you have any question, just take the screenshot or you can write your question. Okay, you can use any channel, but we could keep homework for the homework if you for the practice. Okay, just generally you can, yeah, just communicate with other student and we can talk for anything if you just want to do anything in this channel. So there is no rules. Okay, so we're here to enjoy and just, yes, be patient and respect respect everyone. And we are, as I told you, we're here to learn and we enjoy it for this journey. We finish. I just got a message from the city. We're gonna have power outage tomorrow. They said it's still 2. Yes, 2 p.m. So I don't know if you're available to move the tomorrow session to Wednesday or Friday. Is it something it's okay with you? But we can choose any time.
For me personally, I prefer weekends because
Okay.
I work on the daily. Like,
Yeah, me too.
even if Wednesday, for me, it has to be like at the end of the day.
Okay.
Like if it's midweek,
Uh-huh.
because it's either that or I just take time off from work, or.
Okay.
But I don't know how everybody else feels about like weekends or.
Yeah, I think weekend is perfect for everybody.
Yes,
Weekends,
I would also prefer weekends only because I
yeah.
also work for 5 days and I hardly get a time after
Okay.
my office timing. So yeah, weekends are the perfect time. I mean
Okay,
for
great.
me. Okay.
Okay, so we'll keep the same time, 10 a.m. It's perfect to 12. I will check tomorrow. I have laptop, but I'm not sure if the session it's gonna be just no, I think I need a PC. I'm not sure if this something can be make it tomorrow or not, but I will let you know if we couldn't make it tomorrow, we can move it to the next week. We will take this session after, but we'll keep connection on the Discord, and once we finish this session, just let me stop sharing and stop recording.